Hey guys, it's Leo from Team Ragnarok, and today I'll be bringing you an Astral Poet deck profile that I used yesterday for the Brotherhood's Remote Fight Shop League event. For the starter, I played Pan of New Style. It's just what I have. It doesn't matter which one you use. Then we play 4 Giant Deity of Distant World Valkyrian. It's the main win con of the deck. He can only be placed on Astral Plane. And then if you place him from hand, you look at top 5 cards of your deck, choose one card from the drop zone, and until end of turn, for the battle it attacks, its strike check is equal to the card, well, grade of the card that you put into the drop zone. So 70k from the back row. I usually aim for like a grade 3 with it, because having a triple drive is quite nice. There was one time, unfortunately, during the day where I only hit a grade 1 with it, so I only ended up with 1 drive. Moving on to grade 3s. We play 4 Gleaming Lord Uranus. He has a pretty standard Astral Poet skill, the continuous one. He can make an Astral Plane on the back row center rear guard if there's 5 or more force markers on the Vanguard. And then also Vanguard rear guard skill when placed, use Soul Blast 2 and get an imaginary gift force. I only really used the bottom skill once throughout the whole day, so it didn't come up too much. But it's just a general nice card to have overall, since it has a rear guard skill and it's not completely wasted if I place it for like this 4 of Origin Deity of Heavenly Light Uranus. This is the main right target of the deck that you want to get to. He allows you to get your Astral Plane if you only have 3 or more force markers in your Vanguard, but in exchange for that, he has a Soul Blast cards where the grades equal 5 or greater. But he also has another skill, which is at the end of the battle that your Astral Deity attacked. So after Valkyrian attacks, you can rest 2 Astral Poets anywhere on your board, and then you can restand Valkyrian, but it gets drive -5. Doesn't matter too much, as like you'll be usually putting whatever trigger effects you get on Valkyrian anyway. Well, like criticals mostly, but either way, it's still a pretty big number. Just be swinging twice, which your opponent has to guard. And lastly, for grade 3s, we play 4 Holy Heavenly Dragon, Eosanis Dragon. It also has the skill to make an Astral Plane for 5 or more force markers. Its most useful skill for me that day was the Vanguard Rearguard one. When placed, you could just counterblast 1 and then search for Valkyrian. And if you search for Valkyrian, you get a force. So that was pretty much free. And then has a pretty useful Guardian skill. When placed, you can discard an Astral Poet or Astral Deity, so either one of those. And then one of the units that were attacked cannot be hit until the end of the battle. Pretty good utility card. The Guardian skill didn't come up much during the day, as I didn't have to play into any Angel Feather matchups where they could just get a massive hammy out. But mostly the Vanguard Rearguard skill, really useful, as it's not completely wasted when I throw it onto Rearguard. Also just helped me set up. Grade 2s, we play 3 Arcturus of Fervent Will. Searchable card. Has grade +2 in Soul. When placed, Vanguard Rearguard, you counterblast 1, reveal an Astral Poet Astral Deity. You just get a force marker. And if you have to grade 1 in Soul for it, it lets you draw a card. Just really good. Then we have 4 Phenomenus. This is the main beat stick you use on the rearguard. Has an auto skill, Vanguard Rearguard. When it attacks, it gains 5k for every force marker you have on your circles. So it stacks up pretty fast because you do like acquire force really easily. It's like not a struggle at all. Has an axe skill that came up once or twice during the day. When I have 3 or more force markers, I can counterblast 1 to draw a card. That was pretty nice. But it was mainly there to be used as like a massive rearguard. And then into grade 1s, we only played 2 Atlas of Heavenly Sphere. Mainly playing this because there's nothing really better to play for this deck at the minute, to be honest. Has a Vanguard skill when placed, I can Soul Charge 1. And then Rearguard, it's counterblast 1, move into Soul, draw a card. If my Vanguard is an Astral Poet, I can get a force and place it on the Vanguard. That skill didn't come up like at all during the day, the only time I saw this card, like, I had to end up guarding with it, so that didn't really matter. We play 4, Bowcrock of Stratification. This is what I ideally want to ride to grade 1, because when placed in Vanguard, you Soul Blast 1, so you Soul Blast your starter and reveal an Astral Poet. And if you do, you search your deck for Arcturus Fervent Will, add it to your hand, and then you shuffle your deck. So it just guarantees you a grade 2 ride, and it sets up quite nicely for Arcturus, because that's what let you draw a card if you have this in Soul. However, if you do misride, it has the other skill to make up for that setup, which is when retired from Guardian Circle, you can put this card into your Soul. Kind of useful as, like, if you already have it, it's just extra cards in your Soul you can use for this Uranus. Lastly, in grade 1, so playing 4, Decay of Just Path. I think this was my favourite grade 1 throughout the day, to be honest. It's 1 place Vanguard Rearguard, you put a card from your hand to Soul, so it can set up for your big grades in Soul for the main range you want to ride. And then you search top 7 for up to 2 Astral Poets and add them to your hand. And if you revealed and added 2 cards, you get an imaginary gift force. So most of the times I call this during the day, I resolve the full effect and just manage to get force really early and manage to put the pressure on from there. Quite easy to do. Into grade 0s, triggers even. We're playing 4 heal, that's pretty standard. For the day I decided to play 4 draw PG because I expected to see a lot of Nightrose for some reason. And I just didn't want half my hand to get taken out by like some random Skull Dragons. In the end, this didn't really come up too much. Like, the only time it really mattered was against a Spectral Duke matchup where they hit triggers and Duke got massive, so I was just forced to use one of these before I hit grade 3. We're playing the 8 crit. So it increased my chance of hitting a crit on my Vanguard swing, which I can pass to Valkyrian, and he swings for 2 crit every attack. And if you happen to take Force 2, I guess it's 3 crit, which is quite nice. My matchups throughout the day. Round 1, I had Harri. What can I say about Harri? For that matchup, I played Force 1, which outscaled his Sentinel crits really fast because I saw that he was playing them as he damage checked it on his first damage, so I figured he wouldn't have draw PGs to guard my big stuff later on. I also rushed him really early, so he didn't have much to work with once he hit the grade 3 turn. I've been playing against Harri a lot, that's one of my teammates plays it. Then round 2 I played into Lucia Silver Thorn. Again, it was just big numbers that pushed cards out of his hand that he drew from Dorian, so that neutralized the advantage he had. I also managed to deck fin a bit faster than he did, which allowed me to get my engine going a bit easier. Round 3 had Nightrose. The guy bricks, he didn't really have much early game, and it just kind of went downhill from him for there. And it was really hard for him to guard Valkyrian because of how much I pushed him after he was bricking. Round 4, arguably, I think was my roughest matchup. It was against Spectral Duke. I think the main saving grace for me was I had a 13k Vanguard against most of his XL rearguards, which didn't hit the numbers that I needed. Well, he needed even. And I just, avoided keeping him 4 damage, so he didn't get a triple drive off the Duke restand, which saved me in a lot of situations I was in there. If there's anything I'd probably change about the deck, I would probably up the amount of crits, probably play either change these to crit sentinels or just go for a 2-2 split, as the additional crit pressure is nice. Probably also try going for Force 2 more often, as many times it could have won me the game a bit faster instead of just waiting another turn. That's pretty much all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Hey guys, quick thing I forgot to mention during the video, as to why I chose this deck for the event. So for me it was between this or Dotex, and I just felt this would be the better deck as it was more well-rounded and probably had better matchups against the things I expected to see. That's it. Again, thank you guys for watching the video, and hope to see you guys next time.